Okay, so social trading networks are about making money, really. That's the truth. They're collections of people. Everyone knows what social media is. People are on social networks. You might be on Facebook or Instagram or one of the others. Normally these networks are set up for either, Facebook is just meeting, all different types of people. LinkedIn is kind of a social network for finding, businesses. There are ones for dating, there are ones for specific interests. This one is about making money. That's it. Social network trading is about finding people who are better at making money than you and learning from them or copying their trades. Simple as that. You've got three types of people. Number one, you've got guys like me, okay? So I'm here to make money. I'm here to try and find good traders, to try and find information for one of two things, okay? So either I click around and I try and find people just to talk to and to get sort of, investment advice from. I can sort of learn what they're doing, watch their trades, find out if they're good. I can go into anyone's profile, like this guy here, and I can see statistics, how much has he made in 2015, 16, 17. It's quite nice. I can look at a lot about him. I can look at his risk score. I'm worried about two things. I'm worried about how much money have these guys made and how risky are they. I don't want to lose my money and I want to make money. So I can do that. I can wander around, I can talk to them, I can try and get advice, I can learn how to trade. If I want to trade myself, I can go over here to trade markets. I can look at different types of ETFs, electronically traded funds, that's what that means. Or I can go to stocks and look at the different stocks, different technology stocks, consumer goods. Or I can trade gold, I can trade whatever I want, and I can do it manually. I want to buy at this price and sell at that price, buy low, sell high, all that sort of stuff. The other thing I can do as your average guy, which is the genius of these sites, is I can actually go to here, copy people, and what I can do is when I find someone who I think, wow, I look at their statistics, again, I look at how much money have they made, and how risky are they. When I find one I like, what I can do is I can actually just click this button here. I can click the copy button, and when I do, something else happens. So I can specify an amount, minimum $100. I can set something called a stop loss, or a copy stop loss, which means that if he loses a certain amount of money, my thing automatically stops copying. The genius of this is that my system will automatically copy his trades. So he is now the second kind of guy. I'm the first guy. I'm like just wanting to make money, and I'm either there to sort of, trade myself and learn about trading using the social network and asking people questions, or I can copy other people's trades. The people I copy, they're the second type. They're on this site, on eToro, the one I use, they're called popular investors. Now they work, I don't know if you remember back in the past, when people didn't know about how to trade and stock markets and shares, they didn't understand, but they thought, I want to make money. They'd go and find someone with financial trading, someone with like the red braces, the big phone, some Wall Street dude or woman, and they'd go and they'd pay them fees, and they'd say, here's my money, all right, they'll make a contract with them. I'll give you this much money a year, here's my money, here's my capital, you trade with it, I expect to see money back, I want to see profit. If that guy made profit, fine, we keep going and maybe give him more fees. If he doesn't, we go find another broker or a fund manager. These guys are acting like those fund managers. So eToro has basically said, all right, you're good enough, your track record is good enough that you can be a popular investor. We're going to make you a popular investor, we'll offer you incentives, we'll give you money, we'll pay you to stay on our website.
Fun coupons! Yeah?
And people will be able to copy you. Now in the past, I would have to pay the fund manager or the broker. I'd say, all right, you look after my money, you make the phone calls, you trade with my money, and I'll pay you a certain amount of money. On these social trading networks, I don't have to pay him to do this. I just press copy. There's no fees in it. I don't pay the broker. Simply whatever trades he makes with his own money, he's trading with his own money, my amount of money, say I've put $100 on him. Let's say he has $1,000. And he makes a trade of 10% of all his money. So mine will make a trade with 10% of my money. So I'll trade with $10. He's traded with 100, 10% of his 1,000. I'll trade with $10, 10% of my 100. So he can't spend all my money and spend too much of my money. They've put lots of safeguards in. So basically, I don't pay him. I no longer have to pay the broker. In the past, it was an enormous amount of money. I had to pay this fund manager for making me money and for investing my money. Now I don't. That's great. So he's the second type of guy, the popular investor. I'm not good enough to do that. I don't know enough about it. You have to be pretty skilled. Some of these popular investors are financially trained, okay? But the beauty of social network trading is that it can take raw talent from around the world. It can find people. When I go here and I go to copy people, I'm looking, here's the editor's choice, the top investors. I can check, I can do searches. So people who've made in the last 12 months have gained at least, let's put 20%, okay? I can find them in different countries. I can find them in any market. Say I want to trade Forex or I want to trade commodities or whatever. I can find them and I can just look and search and find the people who are really good. Some of these guys are natural talent. Not financially trained, but they've learned. They have natural mathematical abilities, natural analytical abilities, natural understanding of the markets and how things move and what happens, and they're just good at it. So if they're really good at it and I'm not, I just copy them for free. And what happens is my system is automatically making the same trades as them. So it's like I'm good at it, but I'm not. But I'm making all the trades as though I'm either financially trained or I'm just naturally talented. This is genius, okay? So those are the second types of guys. The popular investors. They get all sorts of incentives. The more copiers they have, you can go in and you can look at, say, this one here. When you look at their statistics, you can see how many copiers they have, So this one has 157 copiers, which is nice. And they have 100,000 to 300,000 copy assets under management, which is a lot of money. So what that means is, if you get all the people who've copied Jenny Trades together, you get all those people and all the money they've got sort of copying her with, it's between $100,000 and $300,000 people are copying her with their money. So, and they're not paying her for that. eToro, the big site, is paying her to be here because they're the third person, okay, eToro. So the broker, it's like, that film Casino.
And the eye in the sky is watching us all.
The house is eToro. They make money off everyone. The way they do that is something called spread fees. So every time I make a trade, they take a tiny amount of money, a few cents for every trade. I can be making a lot of money, but they take just a few cents off every trade I make. And even when I copy someone, the person makes a trade who I'm copying, my system automatically copies that trade. They still take a tiny amount of money off each trade.
Piranha can strip a fish to the bone in minutes.
If they took too much, I wouldn't make any money and I'd leave. So they don't do that. They take small amounts of money called spread fees. But they have, hundreds of thousands of people, millions, I don't know how many now, using this website, using their system. So obviously millions of little bits are a big bit. The Amazon River is huge because there's tiny rivers flowing into it everywhere. It becomes this big river. So it is with them. So that's the third person, the actual house, the brokerage, the service provider, the social trading network owner, in this case eToro. They make money off everyone by tiny, tiny little bits. So it's very clever. eToro makes money off everyone. The popular investors make money off eToro. I make money when the popular investor that I'm copying does well. If they don't do well, I stop copying them, I find another one. So the genius of this is that it's allowed everyone to connect, social network trading mixed with copying, the ability to copy trade is phenomenal. This has never happened before in human history because we didn't have the internet. We couldn't all meet in one big square, and I've got some guys from Bangladesh, and there's some people from China, and there's some people from New York. There's a guy from Oslo. That they're all in one place, and we're all just talking together. And no, it didn't happen. It can only happen now because of the internet and because of extremely clever, powerful websites like this one. So, social network trading, it's nice to make friends, but this isn't about dating, this isn't about really making friends, this is about making money. This is about finding people who can make you money and and doing so.